I was planning to release a fan theory video on The Penguin, but I think discussing the recent delay for The Batman Part 2 takes priority. Once again, Reeves' sequel has been pushed down the line and now won't be coming out until October of 2027. Jesus. I thought the last delay was pretty far out. I've gotten a bit anxious about this film coming out over 5 years after the first one, and more often than not, delays in this industry allude to a messy result. However, there's an argument to be made on letting Matt Reeves cook and take the time he's given to produce a riveting sequel. If this delay means a stronger movie, I'm all for it. I'm just concerned over any studio interference, the possibility of the film itself being cancelled, or a change in directors. With that in mind, let's go over some possible silver linings that can come from The Batman Part 2 getting delayed again. Before getting into this recent update, I'd appreciate it if you would like this video and hit the subscribe button if you enjoy topics like this. I've recently reached 50 subscribers, and I'm amazed how many of you have jumped on board. Thank you all so much for this growing support and this great community joining me to discuss Batman content and film topics in general. Now, let's try to reach 100 subscribers, and be sure to hit that bell so you know when my next video drops. With that, let's jump in. As I previously mentioned, I've noticed discussions online where fans of the Reeves Batverse insist on giving the director the time he needs to make the sequel perfect. From what I've seen, they haven't exactly started writing the script for the sequel, meaning this project is in the infancy stage of the pre-production process. I would have thought something would have been written by now, and that they could start moving into the production stage. Regardless, this gives them breathing room to perfect the script and possibly implement elements from The Penguin into the movie. Maybe they weren't planning on the limited series having that much impact in the sequel and are now brainstorming ways to intertwine the two more tightly. Speaking of The Penguin, this can be another silver lining to the delay. While I don't believe Colin Farrell will reprise his role as the Penguin until The Batman Part 2, there's a good chunk of time for the studio to come out with another spin-off show or two in this Batman universe. Personally, I believe a spin-off show with Catwoman and Sophia would be welcomed by fans if done right. That way, there isn't this massive drought before the sequel releases. The issue with a delayed sequel is that many could lose interest, and I thought it was smart to air The Penguin when they did. However, there was still a massive gap, which has now been extended by an extra year. The best way to keep this momentum going is to release another spin-off show in the near future with a similar tone to The Penguin and with writers just as smart. Hell, make Lauren LaFranc the showrunner for this spin-off too, especially if it involves Sophia and Selina. I would be more patient if they let Lauren and her team of writers create a Catwoman and Hangman limited series to flesh out Sophia even more along with Selina. The universe gets expanded, we get more time with Kristen Milioti as Sophia, and we get to watch a new dynamic between her and Selina Kyle. It can be the perfect additional footnote to make up for this delay. Touching back on my R-rated Batman video, I believe this delay can work in favor of a darker and grittier movie if it's in such an early stage of development and they are calibrating based on the Penguin series. Now, I don't want the film R-rated just for shits or because I only like brutal violence. Snyder came out with some R-rated cuts for his DC films and I never really cared for them. However, in the world Reeves created and LaFranc expanded on, the logical next step is a darker story that a PG-13 movie can't tell in its entirety. I noticed some of you seem certain that's the direction Reeves is intending to go in the sequel. I hope you guys are right, because Part 2 will pack much more of a punch if they're willing to make it rated R. Plus, with the Penguin receiving such a positive response, maybe this delay has given the studio the assurance needed to delve into topics and scenarios as dark as its HBO limited series. But what do you guys think? Do you see any silver linings to another delay, or do you think this is a bad sign? Multiple delays are often worrisome, but rush deadlines are never good for these productions. This shakeup in DC leadership can cause problems, so let's hope The Rock isn't meddling in this project. I could see him trying to worm Black Adam into this movie for some reason and have Gotham take place on some tropical island. Sarcasm aside, I'm really hoping James Gunn doesn't pull the plug on Reeves completely. It would be so lame if all this anticipation was for nothing, especially with how the Penguin brilliantly sets up the Batman sequel in the finale. The show did so much heavy lifting, and it would be such a waste having it all be for nothing. Right now, we're left with more questions than answers, so this is all speculation of the fate of the Batman Part 2. How do you see things shaking out? What would be an ideal strategy you'd propose in response to this delay if you had a say in it? I believe HBO has a golden opportunity to release a few spin-off shows during this Bat drought. Hey, future Mad Hair here. While editing this video, the Golden Globes aired and we got a little bit more info from Matt Reeves about the Batman Part 2, which has eased some concerns we have about another delay. He mentions working through some personal stuff, which could be a factor for the film being pushed back. People have speculated this online, but Reeves has now confirmed that has been happening behind the scenes. I wish Matt the best, and for whatever personal issues to be worked out. While that helps explain a bit of what's going on, Reeves mentioned something else to a Deadline reporter at the Golden Globes which gives me more optimism for his film. While Matt is keeping everything hush-hush about the Batman sequel, he did confirm that they will start shooting later in 2025. I'm not sure if that means the news of the film not having a script yet is wrong, or Matt intends to have one started and finished between now and whenever they plan to shoot later this year. Either way, this validates those that have been saying, let Reeves cook even more. I think Batman is in good hands. Okay, back to the video. So, let's talk spin-offs. As I stated earlier, the next logical spin-off show should follow Sophia and Selina. The Penguin finale has already teed up their future relationship when Selina writes Sophia back in Arkham. I remember hearing plans of an Arkham show that never came through, but maybe that can be explored further in this spin-off. Maybe meet some new characters that can be compelling enough to possibly have their own spin-off as well. That may be a stretch, but I still think HBO should make a limited series, hell, maybe a series with multiple seasons about Selina Kyle and Sofia Gigante. There's a lot of potential with their dynamic due to their conflicting ethics. Selina is morally gray, while Sophia is a villain. Could Selina offer Sophia some form of a redemption arc? Or will Sophia corrupt Selina? This can be a very fun dynamic to play with in a series like this. Trying to balance this half-sibling relationship with growing care for each other, but a growing tension involving trust issues and a disagreement on each other's ethos? I'd love to watch a show like that. Character dynamics would be unique enough from the Penguin, but would still follow characters in a universe within the criminal underbelly of Gotham. If we're waiting until practically 2028, DC should release another HBO series in Reeves' Batverse, and that series should be one that has Selina Kyle and Sofia Gigante as the main characters. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my thoughts on this recent development. I really hope this delay will benefit the quality of the movie and not mess with the vision Matt Reeves wants to put to screen. In the meantime, Lauren LaFranc should be given the green light to bring Kristen Milioti back to reprise her role as the hauntingly sympathetic Sofia Gigante. Kristen sounds like she wants to play Sophia again, and the fans are all for seeing her back in action. Her masterclass acting can carry a series as Sophia and could be a perfect continuation to compensate for the Batman drought. Let's hope for the best, and thanks again for watching. Be sure to give the video a like and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos covering topics like this. Until next time.